Instead, you're going to suffer consequences.
The wrath.
I guess we open up. You ready, bro?
All praise. You. Don't you say? Brandon.
Father Yah, thank you for gathering us today. Thank you for allowing us to be together to speak your name and to speak your wisdom and to know your laws and your statutes, to understand your commandments and to be in your word. Yah, I just want to gladly say that, for us to be together and to be with you, bless our souls, bless our hearts, anything that we are going through, bless our situation and look over us, cover us with your anointing, Yah, and always be in our hearts. Hallelujah.
All praise. Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Y'all sure y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to start the feast days. We're going to start in Leviticus 23 and 1. Leviticus 23 and 1. Got it?
Leviticus 23 and 1. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of Yahuwah, which ye shall proclaim to be a holy convocation. Even these are my feasts.
Okay, stop right there. Now listen to him carefully what he say. He say, speaking to the children of Israel, and say to them concerning the feast of Yah, which shall proclaim a holy convocation, meaning gathering. These are my feasts. Whose feast he saying there? The Yah feast, right? And we understand there's something deep behind that. Why he calling his feast? It's a commandment. So what I'm doing today, I'm doing, I know we have about 2 more feasts, but I'm doing a commanded feast from Yah. So he gave us the commandment feast, and the one that we did, but we're going to do the commandment feast today. We realize we're going to separate the feast. You have the spring feast. We're going to do the spring feast first. All right? Keep reading, brother. Read 3.
6 days shall be done, or 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest, a holy convocation. Ye shall do no more work therein. It shall be the Sabbath of Yahuwah in all your dwellings.
Okay, why would y'all say that about the Sabbath day? Because we Israelites. All of us get hot-headed. We say, okay, we got to go by these feasts. We ain't got to do Saturday no more. So he clearly put that before he did the feast. He clearly made sure that you know Saturday still is, you still don't have to do it on the Sabbath day. You're not going to do away with Saturday because you got these feasts to do also. But know how Israelites is. We always say, well, we ain't got to do that no more because we're doing these feast days also. So he made it clear that he told you about the Sabbath day, that you have to do that Saturday also. It's also a feast. Okay, read 4, brother.
These are the feasts of Yahuwah, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in the seasons.
Okay, seasons, it's appointed times. You can only do these seasons appointed times and locations. When he tell you to do these feasts, they're appointed times. You got to go to the exact time. People do them at different times. You got camps doing a Passover this day. You got camps doing Passover that day. So these feasts got to be these appointed times and seasons exact.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically like holidays, essentially.
No, holidays up the world. Holidays is something totally different. These are holy days. You can compare his holy day with holidays. Holidays is something given by man, and they're not strict. His holidays are strict that we're supposed to be better doing, or else.
Yeah, most of them holy days are like a day after or sometime after the actual days that we're supposed to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Make a point. The holidays, holy days, think about it. The world days overshadow our Father's days. You see what I'm saying?
Christmas.
All of that
Yeah.
stuff. Easter, all that. It's to overshadow our Father's holy
Holy
days.
days.
See,
Dylan,
that's why they do what they do. And they will attack you if you go against their days,
yeah.
because they're worshiping their gods. I throw another little footnote in there. Tell somebody football wrong and it's violent, and watch how they act against
Yeah. You're going against their God.
Yep.
Wait, what?
You're going against their God. Football, the world, Easter, all those are their gods. They do worship their gods when they do all this pagan stuff over our Father.
Sports.
That's right. That's right. All that's for them shoes you bought. Same thing as it comes from. They're named after a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Right. I Brandon, 5.
In the 14th day of the first month, at even is Yahuwah's Passover.
Okay, stop right there. The 14th day at even. Now that's an order. The 14th day at even. It's y'all's Passover, right? The 14th day at even. And remember last time I had to talk about Passover, Yahshua, everything he did was according to the lamb sacrifice. Time he died, time they crucified him, from the time he went and buried, all that was like perfect time according to the lamb sacrifice. And it was in order for us to everything on the lamb, that when they said they didn't break a bone of him, they didn't break a bone of the lamb. So he was done in order. So that's why deep this is. Brothers, this is something so deep. When we get through this day, it's going to be deep, because it's like I said, the Passover is like real holy. It's real special. It's more special than we can even imagine. But brother, go ahead and read 6.
And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread.
Let's start right there. Now, you see these camps during the Passover. For the next day, it's unleavened bread. So what are you doing? You cannot do the Passover and leave out unleavened bread. This is another feast. The very next day, it's unleavened bread. The very next day, it's unleavened bread. That's the scripture right here telling you that, okay? Now, read brother 7.
In the first day ye shall have a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Stop right there. This is another feast. The first day is when y'all risen. That's another feast. The first day. That's your risen the first day, right? That Sunday. It's another feast, but we won't let you keep reading.
Well, that's survival days.
Huh?
Survival work.
That means showing servitude or pleasing somebody else accessible. You can't be trying to please other people.
So being a follower.
Like he said about the feast, like holidays. That's what he was saying. When you follow the holiday stuff, holidays, that's what you're doing. You worship, you're out of order with the commandments. But these feast days are commanded to us to do. I brother, keep reading.
But ye shall offer any offerings made by fire unto Yahuwah 7 days. In the 7th day is a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and you shall reap and harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of a first fruits of your harvest unto the priests, and ye shall wave their sheaf before Yahuwah to be accepted for you on the morrow after.
Stop there. Now let's go back up to 5. Now we're going to show you. Now I'm going to show you guys where Yahshua did away with these feast days. I'm going to show you according to scripture how he did away with these feast days. Go back up to 5, brother.
In the 14th day of the first month at even is Yahuwah's Passover.
Stop right there. Now let's go to 1 Corinthians 5 and 6 and 8. First Corinthians 5, 6 and 8.
We said 5 and 6.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians 5, 6.
Everybody was there? All right, 1 Corinthians 5, 6, and 8. Your glory is not good. Know ye not the little leaven or leaven, the whole lump?
Keep reading 7.
Purge out thereof the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Yahushua HaMashiach, our Passover, is sacrificed for us.
Okay, that's one. Okay, that's the first one. That's the Passover. Yahshua is our Passover. Yahshua is our Passover now. He did away with that on the cross when he died. Okay? Now we'll keep reading 8.
What's that cross?
Yeah, he got crucified.
I thought it was a staff.
Cross, tree, stuff. He got crucified, he died. That's what his death was all about. This, doing away with all this. That's what he died for.
Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of serenity or sincerity
In truth.
and truth.
Okay, so now we know that Yahshua done away with the Passover. According to Scripture, right? Now let's go to unleavened bread. Okay. Now let's go to, keep reading, brother 6. Now this is the next day. This is the very next day.
You said 6?
No, go back to Leviticus 23 and 6. Yeah, 23. Cause we gonna stay in Leviticus 23, that's where we get all the feast days from. So we'll probably go to other scriptures and blah, but the main book is Leviticus 23. Cause this is the commanded feast that we under.
I kind of got lost in 1 Corinthians.
1 Corinthians?
6, 7.
Read it. No, read it again. Read it again, brother.
Which one?
1 Corinthians 6.
1 Corinthians 6.
Read 7.
Now therefore, these is uttered a fault among you.
No.
Oh, shoot.
1 Corinthians 5.
Oh, okay, 6. Your glory is not good. None ye, not the little leaven, the whole lump. Purge out thereof the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Yahushua HaMashiach, our Passover, is sacrificed for us.
So Yahshua is that lamb now. So he's a Passover now. He's that lamb. It's no more goat or lamb that we're going to sacrifice anymore, because he sacrificed his body once for all. That's what this is telling. So now he's telling that he done away with Passover with his body, himself. So read.
I was just going to say, so that when he's talking about this lump, he's talking about, is he talking about us?
So,
You see what I'm saying?
so what he's doing, he's combining the unleavened bread also. You don't have to worry about yeast on unleavened bread anymore, because our bodies purge out all that filth out of ourselves.
Right.
That's unleavened, because Christ was sacrificed for us. He was a perfect bread without yeast. He had no sin, so therefore he's killing all these feast days with this, his body. That's what he did away with. He also did away with ceremonial sacrifice plus the feast days. This is what understanding. Once we finish, we're going to see that he did everything on the cross, all the feast days and all the ceremonial sacrifices. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so, like, because you still have some Hebrew Israelites that's not in America that still do ceremonies.
That's out of ignorance, because they don't read the Bible itself.
Okay.
It's right here in Deuteronomy 23. Because right here, where we're at right now, it's commandments from Yah about the feast days. The commandments that he gave us command to do this in Old Testament. They must don't read Old Testament, because right here in Deuteronomy, Leviticus 23, all the feast days to command feast days.
Right.
These are commanded feast days, but you realize they're his feast. Why? Because his son came. It was all a secret. It was all planned that we won't know the truth until Yahshua came. Now that he have came, now you go to the New Testament, you can expound and bring it back and say, okay, now I know why he got crucified. Not only for the circumcision, not only for the burnt offerings, also the feast days. Also the feast days. Okay, what's this?
Verse 7.
We in
No, I have a question.
go ahead.
It says, to purge out, therefore, the old leaven,
Mm-hmm.
that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened.
Mm-hmm.
So, leavened bread is with the yeast in it. So that yeast is the sin that we have to cleanse ourselves,
Right.
cleanse ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, we can become unleavened.
Unleavened.
The unleavened is, it's a spiritual thing, but
Okay.
the unleavened is the cleansing part, right?
Okay, I'm gonna let Scripture bring that. We can get that next. I'm gonna give you an answer right now. Let's go back to Leviticus 23. And let's start at 6.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 6.
And this is second of the Passover. You got it?
Yeah, I'm just trying to finish this one.
Yeah, hold Leviticus 23, this could be our main page we're working on, so you can hold that page, and when you look at the scriptures, that way you keep, you'll be able to fall back in. Leviticus, this was commanded that. Okay, Leviticus 23 and 6, brother.
All right. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread. Unto Yahuwah 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread.
Okay, now let's go to Mark 14:22. Now this one I ask you a question, sister. Mark 14:22.
Is that 14?
14:22. This is at the Passover, when Yahuwah was at the Passover, he was instructing us about, he's going to answer the question. Mark 14:22.
Everybody there? Mark 14:22. And as they did eat, Yahusha took bread and blessed and broke and brake it and gave to them and said, take, eat, this is my body.
There you go. Now when you read this word, you're purging out the old leaven out of your body with his word.
Yes.
Okay, now let's go to St. John 6:51. St. John 6:51.
Say what you just said, brother, 'cause that was so awesome.
When you read this Bible, you purge out the filth that's in your body. His word is what's going to cleanse you now. So therefore, the unleavened bread, we don't have to do it anymore. He done away with that also,
Right.
which is the next day after the Passover.
I thought fasting was a form of cleansing too.
Cool.
Fasting.
Yeah, that's a form of cleansing, but when you fast and pray, you read, you can combine them together. You know what I'm saying? You do, as long as you're doing one of them. Really, if you combine all of them, you're good. Okay, now let's go to,
Oh, I got a point to make.
go ahead.
Thing is with fasting, when you fast, what you're doing is you're getting into the word. So two, you are cleansing yourself. So how many days you fasting? Every day, you pick this word up and you read.
Eat.
You're getting close to him and you're cleansing yourself of all that filth. Yeah. That's what you do when you fast. You just don't just lay around and just, yeah. You know, think about it. Oh, I can't wait till it's over. I can eat. No, you're supposed to, you're supposed to get close to him. Yeah. Get into the word. Get deep into the word. Get into your study. Meditate. Mm-hmm.
What's it, John? What?
John 6:51.
Yes, John?
Yeah, that's John 6:51.
Okay.
St. John chapter 6, verse 51. I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I live, I will give to my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world.
Okay. Now we know what the unleavened bread is. That feast, Yahuwah done away with also. On the cross. Alright? So now,
you get immortality if you eat this leavened bread, it says, or what do you mean by that?
You eat this word.
Okay.
He's the leaven. He's the bread that you're gonna eat now. His holy word. You don't go to worry about no yeast anymore in your house. You worry about the yeast in your body.
Right.
You worry about yourself. Don't worry about no food that's physical. This stuff right here gonna perish. This and that, whatever. He's talking about us now. When he said don't rinse your garbage anymore, he said rinse your heart.
Yes.
So now he's talking to us as our flesh, what's supposed to be the temple of Yah.
Yes.
You want to purge out all that unleavened yeast that's in us. That's what it says. So it's a parable, but you know what I'm saying? You got to really meditate on it and really get understanding. But really, like I said last Saturday, if you like take notes and you go home, you read it, this and that, it'll help you later on to, you know, bring it out.
I did take notes last time.
I'm saying if you like take notes and this and that, it'll help you as you study if you know, really want to understand it. Okay, let's go to 7. So Leviticus 23 and 7.
23.
Now we know he done with the Passover. Unleavened bread.
You said Leviticus?
Yeah, 23 and 7.
Okay.
Leviticus 23 and 7. And the first day ye shall have a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah 7 days. And the 7th day is a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Okay, stop right there. Now again, this is the first day. So what are y'all doing on the first day? The first day. Well, I'm gonna let the Bible explain and bring out the first day down. This is another feast. Now these are 3 days. These are feasts, 3 days and 1. Okay, keep reading, brother. I'm gonna let you know what the first day was.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, that when ye be come into the land which I give you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest.
Now, that's the first fruits. That's another feast. The first day when you risen, that was the beginning of the first fruits. Okay, let's go to Mark. Let's go to Mark
The first day when the
16 and 9, yeah. It's called the first fruits. So therefore he already done away with the Passover, unleavened bread, now the first fruits. All these feasts are in 3 days gathered together. They're not separated. All these camps, when they do all these feasts, they're doing them way over here, but right here in the biggest place, all these feasts was joined together. These are called the spring feasts. These are the spring feasts. Okay, let's go to Mark 16 and 9. John, which one?
John 6 or 15.
16. What's this?
Yeah, I have a question. So basically, all these days, when we're are there right now, back to back, this is basically how Yeshua died.
It's right.
It's based off how he.
It's based how he died. Like I remember when he got crucified, according to the Passover, he did everything in order with the lamb. The Passover. That's why you could do nothing until evening. And evening at this hour at night. That hour at night he did it to a T on the crucifixion. So that's what he also did. This right here, the feast day the same way on that cross. The same as that way. And that's why I tell you when we did the Passover, I said it's deep. It's deeper than we can think. It's way deep. That's why I said I wanted to really go over a lot of scripture because it's real detailed. Because Christ did more, Yahuwah did more than getting rid of a lot of stuff. But once we finish this lesson, you're going to see how much he did a lot of work just for dying. He did a lot just for dying. He did so much work. And this means so much. What's up, buddy? We had Mark 16 and 9. Mark 16.
Yeah, Mark 16 and 9.
Oh, not Mark 15.
16.
Mark chapter 16, verse 9. Now when Yahushua was risen early the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had cast 7 devils.
Stop right there. Now you go back.
Who's Mary Magdalene?
She was one of the ladies that followed him. And he cast out devils out of. Now you go back to Leviticus 23:7. In the first day, you should have a holy convocation. Do no 7-hour work. That first day was when he was risen in New Testament, which is the first fruits. Now when you go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 20, you're going to Paul explain it more. 1 Corinthians 15 and 20.
15 and 20.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
What's wrong?
Look at that.
Wait.
Yeah.
That's
See that?
awesome.
Yeah.
That is so,
You
so.
see that?
Wow.
This is the first fruit. These are the
awesome.
feasts. These are the spring feasts.
Wow.
That is so
I
awesome.
just got it. I just got
3
it.
days. He did well all those
See, I
feasts.
just seen it.
That is so
Wow.
awesome.
Man.
Wow.
And
Yeah. And that's to say these counts going to get people to go against y'all commandments doing these feast days out of order. I'm not saying do not do them, but I'm going to show you how we must do them.
15, 20.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he did with all that on the cross.
Yeah,
All the feast days he did with on the cross. Go ahead and read it, brother.
Chapter 15, verse 20. But now, as Yahushua HaMashiach risen from the dead and became
Mm.
the first fruit of them that
That
slept.
Now all the feast days gone. Passover, first day, unleavened bread, and the first fruits.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
The first fruit of them that slept.
Mm-hmm.
Explain that to me.
Okay, I'm gonna let scripture bring it. I like scriptures. I'm gonna let scripture bring it right to you because when the Bible bring out,
Who already got it?
yeah. Okay, now where we at, brother? Let's go to 12.
Mm-mm.
First
Leviticus 23 and 12.
Wow. I just got that.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 12.
Yo, everybody stay on Leviticus because this is the main page. We just going to the scripture, but Leviticus, this is all feast days. So if you stay on that page, you cannot, you need to go back to it. Leviticus 23 and 12.
And ye shall offer that day, when ye wave the sheaf, a he lamb without blemish of the first year of the burnt offering unto Yahuwah. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 dill of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah for a sweet savor. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the 4th part of a hin. And ye shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ear, until the self same day that ye have brought an offering unto Yahuwah. It shall be a statute of ever throughout your generation of all your dwellings.
15.
And ye shall count up from the morrow after the Shabbat. From that day ye brought the sheaf of a wave offering. 7 Shabbats shall be complete.
Okay, start right there. Now we're going to understand what he's talking about, these from 7 Sabbath. Okay, we understand. Now let's go to Exodus 34:22. Let's see what feast day this is, but this is another feast day. Exodus 34:22.
34:22. 34:22.
Yeah, 34 and 22.
Yup, Exodus 34:22. Now this is another feast day. Another feast day.
Exodus 34, Verse 22. And there shall observe the feast days of weeks, of the first fruit of wheat harvest, and the first of ingathering at the year's end.
Stop right there. The Feast of Weeks. Does anybody know what the Feast of Week name is for the feast is that? They are Pentecost.
Wow. Yeah.
Pentecost. The Feast of Weeks is Pentecost. Now let's go back to the days 23 and 13.
What scripture that's saying is called a Pentecost.
No, don't get that. Let's go back to Leviticus 23 and 16. We know the seven Sabbaths is the Feast of Weeks. Okay, then the Bible don't bring it out across the Pentecost.
Leviticus 23:15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Shabbat, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Shabbats shall be complete. Even unto the morrow after the 7th shall ye number 50 days. And ye shall offer a new meat offering unto Yahuwah.
Okay, stop right there. Now let's go to Acts 2:1 and see what this feast day that Yahuwah did away with. Acts 2:1. For Feast of Weeks, it's Pentecost.
Acts
2:1.
Okay.
Everybody there? Acts chapter 2, verse 1. And when the day of Pentecost
Yeah, Pentecost. Now this is the New Testament now. But y'all did it on the cross. Can you read?
was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place, and suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And they appeared unto the cloven tongue like a fire, and it sat upon each of them. And they were all filled with the Holy Ghost, and began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance. And they were dwelling at Jerusalem, Jews, devout men, not of every nation under heaven.
You gotta know things like that.
That's it. Now he fulfilled Pentecost, Feast of Weeks. On the cross by rising. Go ahead, brother.
I was just going to say, is
It's not-
this where those Pentecostal churches get this is why they say they Pentecost?
Yeah, that's part of his name. Yeah. Part of his
Wait,
name.
what do you mean by other tongues?
Different languages.
Oh.
Like say, you.
I
Sorry,
speak Chinese.
I just remember a video where somebody was trying to pretend like they're speaking tongues against somebody in the Bible. So what it is like, okay, what our ancestors, when they were dispersed, right, and then the disciples went there, the Holy Spirit gave them that language to speak. Like say if I was in Japan, right, and there was a bunch of Israelites in Japan, and I went to speak to them, there's certain words that they would understand. Like, okay, I could be sitting here and I could say, Hitin Star Misurugi no Hizanaki. You know, now you be like, oh, he's speaking in tongues.
Right.
But that really just means man with God-like speed.
Yeah.
Wow. That was Japanese right there?
Yeah.
That's fire.
But it's not tongue. You know,
Yeah.
when you hear somebody, they be just like, blah, 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 blah. That's not, they playing games.
Yeah, I was talking to this woman
It
the
hurts.
other day.
All right, brother. 18, what is 23? Where you at, 17 still? What was that, 17?
We was on
What is
17.
17?
15.
We was on 15.
15? Okay, go ahead, 15.
Wait, we're going to Leviticus or Acts still?
No, we're in Leviticus now.
Chapter 15,
Chapter 23.
chapter 23 and verse 15.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow, after the Shabbat, after the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave of offering. 7 Shabbats shall be completed. even until the morrow. After the seventh Shabbat shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto Yahuwah. Ye shall bring out of your habitation 2 waves loaves of 2 tenths deals. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baked with leaven. They are the first fruits unto Yahuwah.
Stop right there. Everybody go to Apocrypha, Tobit 2:1.
You said Apocrypha?
Yeah, Apocrypha, Tobit 2:1.
Okay. I don't know where that one is. I never.
Got on the phone, we get the shit on there.
Yeah, right here.
Okay,
I'm not sure. You said Tobit?
Tobit 2:1.
I don't know where it's at. I got Apocrypha, but I'm not really experienced with Apocrypha.
You got them?
Oh, what you looking for?
Yes.
Should be from the middle.
Yeah, probably should that, because that's it, the beginning.
Use this in the contract.
Cause this book is
You got it, Brandon?
I'm about to get it. 2 and 1?
Yeah, 2:1. You get in the beginning.
All right. Out of the book of the Apocrypha, Tobit, chapter 2, verse 1.
I read that one.
let's share this one. Tobit in which one?
Tobit 2:1.
2:1.
All right. Now, when I was to come home again, and my wife Anna was restored unto me with my son Tobias, in the feast of Pentecost, which is the holy feast of the 7 weeks.
So now he's going to explain to you that the Feast of Weeks is the day of Pentecost. Okay, which y'all did away with that also. By the Ruach, the Holy Spirit. His son, he died and he was risen. He's on his Ruach. That's why the disciples had to wait in Jerusalem to receive at the day of Pentecost. Keep reading, brother.
There was a good dinner prepared me, in which I sat down and ate. And when I saw abundance of meat, I said to my son, Go and bring what poor man soever there shall find out of our brethren who is mindful of Yahuwah, and look, I tarry for thee. But he came again and said, Father, one of our nations is strangled and is cast out into the marketplace. Then before I had taste of any meat, I stood up and took him into the room until the glowing down of the sun. Then I returned and washed myself and ate my meat in heaviness. Remember that prophecy of Amos, and as he said, your feast shall be turned into mourning, and all your merriment in lamentation.
Stop right there. He's showing you that. Now, I'm going to give you another scripture in a minute, but he was in the line of his captive. He was a Denver when this happened, right? He can go to Jerusalem. So his wife did, she prepared a big old dinner. He went out and brought his brother in the feed, the homeless people, the poor people, right? But again, like brother said a lot. He said that how are we going to have a feast and celebrate dancing and this and that in the land of our captivity, like when you're on a punishment. When you're on a punishment, you got to dance and do all this stuff, getting drunk, whatever case may be. Like I see all these camps doing, we're in the land of our captivity. So therefore we got to be careful. I mean, we could get together, get into his word, eat some food, whatever, but all that other stuff, all that celebrity, all that party stuff, he's saying right here that he did it at home with his family, or he did it in the congregation coming together, or something like that. So in Apocrypha is showing you that in the land of captivity that we cannot do these feasts, and y'all knew that we cannot do these feasts. That's why he did away with them. And I got more scriptures that the scripture going to bring it out and show you why he said that we cannot do this, and basically only in Jerusalem is where we're supposed to do these feasts at.
Wow.
But so I got more scripture on that. Now let's go to Tobit 122. Tobit, same book of Apocrypha 122.
Yeah, okay. You hear, Brad?
This is going to show you the location where he was at this time. Where he was doing it, the day of Pentecost, where he was doing it, because he cannot go back to Jerusalem where the location where he was at.
Chapter 122.
Chapter 122.
Tobit 122.
Okay.
Tobit chapter 1, verse 22. And excuse me if I butcher this name. And Achiairus
That's a new language.
entreating for me, I returned to Nineveh. Now, what's that?
Just
I returned to Nineveh. Now Archelaus
Archelaus.
was compared, and keeper of the signet, the steward and the overseer of the accounts, and Cerberus, or whatever that is, appointed him the next into him, was my brother's son. What I'm saying, why I want to bring you where he was at. He was in Nineveh at that time, so he couldn't go up to Jerusalem, so that's why he had the feast at his house. His wife cooked a big old dinner, this and that. And that's where the word get all that cooking dinner for Thanksgiving, this and that, because, you know, when we can't go back to Jerusalem to do it, that's how we did it. You know what I'm saying? We just cooked a big dinner, we went to the poor, we fed the poor, with this and that, we brought in our brother and sister that was out there. You see where he went out, and they sprinkled one of his brothers. He took and he buried him. That's the date. Captivity, when they hung us on a tree, this and that. We cannot go back to Jerusalem and do the feast day. So what happened, we had a feast amongst each other. We went out to the poor, we helped each other. And that's how we must do the feast these days. We must sit around, cook dinner. You can't come to the Shabbat, do it at home with your family. Because the big dinner, go feed the homeless, the poor, your brother, and go out there and rescue your brother when they're going through something.
So go ahead.
Okay, what certain day we supposed to do this on? Like what day after like the Saturday? I would just forgot.
No, well, this right here is the day of Pentecost. Yeah,
These days, the
Pentecost.
holy days.
I said what day? 7 days. I'll be here.
No, well, see, yeah, go ahead, sis.
I think we're learning now. We don't know exactly like what day. So that's what Boaz is doing. He's teaching us and he's telling us like the history of it and what we have to do. So we haven't pinpointed yet like what date of the week or the months or whatever.
And another thing, these are the spring feasts, right? And I did on the calendar. What happens is you have the Passover, you have unleavened bread, and you have the first fruits, the Feast of Weeks. You got all these that they're together. So once we know when the Passover is next year, we'll know unleavened bread is right behind it. You got the first fruits, there's another Pentecost. We know that they're in the same month, they're together. They're not spread all about
Right.
These are the spring feasts.
Yes.
And like I said, I got this chart here too that show you that you got the spring feast and you got the fall feast.
Sorry.
Yeah.
How
I got some.
How you manage to find out?
Well, I'm telling you, we done had this sheet here for a while, running through here. But since we don't go through this topic, they really go detail. With, like I said, it's a lot of meat. It's a lot of meat in the Passover. The Passover got a lot to do with so much that we're going to go over today. Like I say, by the time the end of this time, we're going to see that, wow, we've been doing this, like the camps, following them camps. They were leaving us to go against Yahuwah command law statutes.
So those camps don't be doing it.
They doing it just to say we Israelites, we can dress alike, we can do a big old feast, who can do a bigger feast, who got more members, who look good, and they're doing it for us.
They just basically
They're not
show
doing
us.
they're not doing it because
Pharisees.
they're the Pharisees, so
Yeah.
they're not doing it according to the commandment. Because realize these commandments, this right here is a commandment.
Right.
So these commandments, but I know Yahshua came and did away with them.
Right.
So once he did away with them, we cannot do them. That's why he got mercy on us in the land of that we cannot do it because these feasts, you see, Sabbath and Saturday. How are we going to do that?
Yes.
And think about the Passover, right? If they even had any wisdom, first day of the week, the last feast going to Monday, Sunday. And then there's a whole week after that. How they going to take a vacation? On these pieces of land in captivity, they going to go with the oak tree, right wood. Where they live by that? Where they precept?
Yeah.
How many?
Where they lamb at? The lamb not blemish.
Yep. Now see, this is why we try to tell you, one of the rules is to study to show yourself approved. Read. Because see, a lot of people in these camps, they get misled by man. You have to study. You have to seek your Father. You have to. Or you're going to get misled, you're going to be angry again. I just left Christianity and I went in there with them and now they doing this and that. But who are you going to blame?
Are you reading?
Yeah, are you reading?
Are you reading?
Right.
Because I think it was you sis, you had sent a video one time, it was a while back, when I was watching my wife. And you seen a whole bunch of Israelite camps and they was literally making money off of our weekend.
How?
They were sitting there selling stuff. They were selling everything they could. They were selling fringes. They were selling the stuff from your tribe, brother Gad. They were selling the feathers. I'm like, what are they doing?
So that's what the other brother was trying to do.
Mhm.
The light skin one with the tattoos on the sleeve tattoos.
Well, I mean,
That's what the one that was trying to make a business off.
trying to make a business. It's
Yeah.
like, see, you have to understand something. When you start reading and getting into this word, all of this right here, this is physical. We're already seeing in California now, they're taking away the Bibles.
Yeah.
That's the family of the word starting.
Mhm.
That's why you got to study this, because it's going to come a time we're not going to be able to have this in front of us. You're
Man.
going to have to have this in your head.
Right.
You see? And that's why I'm telling y'all, study your scriptures, memorize your scriptures. Because it's going to come a time, they gonna drag us in front of,
The mud. They're
yeah, they're going to drag us in front of councils, people.
yeah.
They do it now. Think about it. You may not really realize it. And people will come at you and they were like, that's not what that said. You taking it out of context.
Right.
It's happening right now.
It's happening right
It's just
now.
going to get worse.
The persecution of
Yeah.
believers.
Justifying-
Persecuted.
Mhm.
Heavy.
Justifying homosexuality in the Bible, people do. There's one YouTuber that did it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why, that's why we tell you, it's, like I said, we can sit up here and we can say anything, but that's why we get the notes, go home, study. If we wrong, bring it to our attention.
That's right.
Like I said in the beginning of the class, we don't want to burn either. We want to do right.
Right.
We want to teach us right.
No one really wants to burn.
Well, a lot of people don't care.
Some people don't care. They really don't. They don't care.
Living for right now.
Yeah.
And
Actually,
Yeah.
there's a lot that want to burn.
And see, this is what we doing now. We getting back to our heritage. We getting back to what we need to do what's right.
We want to do it the right way.
Because I'm telling you, when Dad get ready to move, there ain't gonna be no excuses. He ain't gonna hit nothing you got to say.
That's right.
He was like, I put all this stuff in front of you. You had an opportunity to get it. You didn't look. You didn't try to seek me. He
Right.
said, so now why should I give you a chance when I already gave you a chance? That's a wrap. It's over.
Right.
Yeah, you know it.
Yep. Remember, our ancestors went down for a lot of stuff.
Man.
Just I don't want to get off topic. But remember Moses? Moses didn't understand circumcision.
Mm-hmm.
He about to get put down.
He was.
Well, the
right?
circumcision.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. Every kid,
Yeah.
every male child
Yeah.
gets it.
So, yeah. He ain't know that.
His wife said.
Wait, I thought they didn't need it back then.
Well, what the whole thing
That's a
is,
covenant.
It was
That's a covenant.
yeah.
So that covenant, whatever he say, is a covenant. So that's what he had to do as a covenant.
That's extremely painful.
Go to this to do today.
That's painful.
Child, yeah, for child.
But see, the thing is, the whole thing is about following commandments. Just follow orders. You can't go wrong. Follow orders. Don't do no more. Don't do no less. Just follow what he tell you to do.
Okay,
Right?
just enough.
So do what he
Yeah.
tell you to do. What he tell you to do. Do what you hear it. He told you do it. Do it.
just
Especially when you
enough
hear it.
equal nothing at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because remember, he gonna read your heart.
Right.
He gonna read your heart. Right? Sorry, brother.
No, you can do it.
So what do you mean by read your heart? Like people say that I can read your heart. Like what that mean?
I put it to you like this. Before you raise your hands to pray to the east, he already know what you want. He already know what you need. Daniel's a perfect story of that.
That's why he say, yeah.
Right.
That's why he says, when you already come to me in prayer, don't go babbling off about all this, because I already know what you
Already know.
want. So just come straight up boldly and pray.
Yeah, like some say, you ask my shepherd, I should not want.
Mm-hmm.
You want some stuff. You desire to have
Like
you
those
don't need. So he give you what you need.
What you really need.
So I can't
Right.
pay for those Travis Scott.
No, you can't.
No.
He gonna bash you anyway, but you know what I'm saying? But, well, that be just that much of his job. You know?
I don't want them because they're really hyped,
They say
We
this.
understand that too.
Yeah.
and everyone wants them.
You young, but same way you should, right now, while you young, you desire them shoes that you ate. When you get older, you desire this Bible.
Yes.
You spend all that money for them shoes, you spend all that money for this Bible each time.
Yeah,
That
just
ain't gonna
like,
bless you right now while you're young. When you get older, no, ain't no excuse, bro.
Right.
Just like it
Pray for the
says,
shoes you want to.
Right.
Trust me, you got the best blessing right now.
telling you.
Our ancestors wanted this blessing.
Yeah, this is rich.
Yeah.
They wanted this thing. They didn't get it.
Just like it says, you know, when I was a kid, I wanted kids for things, but then
Yeah,
as I
that's
got
all.
older, I had to put those foolish things away.
Mhm.
So
you
right
want-
now, you feeling this hype stuff right now.
hype,
But as you get older, you're going to have to put all that away. You're like, man, I was worrying about stuff like that, man. I need to be getting into this. And then you're going to be talking to somebody young that was your age at the time and telling them, man, look, what you want right now, I know about it. I used to be there. You don't really want that. This is what you want. You know?
So you was into like all that type of stuff, like clothes and
We all-
Gucci
all of us
stuff.
did.
No, me, I wasn't into clothes. I wasn't into clothes like that. You know, I was blessed for whatever I had. I think what I was really into was video games. I thought I was into video games.
Me too.
Mario,
That's what I'm trying
all
to
that
do.
stuff.
I still, alright, let's not be off topic.
Seek the king. Man.
So-
Trying to get it started heavy.
It's okay if you like video games. It's okay.
Trying
Yeah.
to talk about, let's see about Leviticus 20:23.
Fortnite.
Leviticus 23. What?
Wait.
Okay.
And what, Toby? What,
Let's finish. Can we finish?
No. Not
Oh
the
no!
same.
Wait, hold on. 22.
Oh, you
No,
did?
no, we did. You read it.
I read it, yeah, I read it.
Oh,
I
okay.
read it. We can do it again. Look what I told you. Which one you missed, sister?
One, you read it, but
Yeah, we-
I forgot.
Oh, yeah, he
the
was
spot.
showing us that he was in Liverpool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it was.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
one last thing.
Right.
At home on the big feast.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you missed?
One last thing.
No, I didn't miss it.
About the holidays in pagan, the pagan holidays, right? You saying like all type of sports is a pagan holiday?
Every last one.
So that
Is
means
it in the Bible?
so that means working.
It's in, no, if they're not in this book, if they're not in this book, our Father give it to us, it's pagan.
So that means lifting weights, going to the gym. That's a pagan holiday.
Well, who gave it to you? And an apocryphal, brother, don't tell you about exercise, bro.
Huh?
Paul said,
Paul said, exercise
probably
costs you
little,
very little.
but the word of God profits a lot. Yeah.
This gonna perish. Your flesh gonna perish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see how
A little- a little-
But,
You know what?
but,
No.
but it's not a sin if you
And
take
and
it.
else, and
Well,
It's
else.
not a sin.
You know what? Just to even think about that, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronald Coleman. All these big bodybuilders are now looking as skinny as me with big old guts. Their body just running down.
But they,
You know what I'm saying?
a lot of them take steroids.
Well, yeah, a lot of them did, but see, that's what he's saying. Like it costs. You know, you can't look like this forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna decay and you're gonna fall, and then you see them now. They got to keep on long shirts with sleeves and stuff like that because they don't want you to see how much they decay.
Well, Scripture say what part of man getting the whole world of the soul. So I wrote about eternal life and looking good now. They don't
Exactly.
burn, eternal. So I rather get it right with the scripture. I don't care about exercise. I ain't from exercise. I ain't from taking no weeks either.
Me too.
So that means I could be a giant. I could be a whale.
Well, like sister said, it's no sin to exercise, but we're saying this is more important.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
don't
what it is.
dwell on your time.
Well, I was just going to say, in advanced kung fu, what they teach you is do not exercise. Let the chi go. And it's all mind intent. Same thing with the Bible.
Yeah.
It's mind intent. It's spiritual. It's
Right.
I'm pretty sure like Jacob or them, they was probably fit. They was probably were. Hey, I'm taking on
realize, back in those days, we was like real cold. We were so blessed. Yeah, they were
Right.
mighty. They were
Strong.
they were muscular. They were
Yeah.
muscular. They were
But then
man
you gotta
like
also
lion.
think they were working. They weren't out there doing leg crunches and all that. They were
No.
working. They were
They
actually
were
in
laboring.
the fields.
Yeah.
and so forth. So that,
Why do you think, for example, this is great. This is a topic, but I was on the hood. I know some dude. We call one dude Doom. Called him Doom for a reason. He was already cut up when he was like 12 years old. I heard cut up. Old dude can't see his neck. A lot of brothers you see, little old dudes, little baby, you see him cut. I said he cut up. That's how it was in the Bible. Our Father took that from us in Isaiah 2:1. He took all that.
All that stuff. Yeah.
We were bigger, we were mighty, man. We had muscle, we had power from y'all, man. We was big muscle. It was no skinny little dude like me.
But we're still strong though. Like for example,
That's what my
yeah.
mom
we
said.
strong so
Yeah.
for example, our
Well, we was physical and spiritual because we was doing His will. Because we had to go out and battle.
right. We went to battle with giants.
Battle with giants. So we had to
And
pick up a
was
sword.
doing this thing up.
Right.
They was like 4'11".
We had giants back in the day. How can a man my height and giant by the side of this building I could defeat him?
Yeah.
That's because he gave us power. We had
He's
to
there to see
survive
these
that.
7 feet and these 8 feet people. Where do you think they come from? Where do you think they genes? You know what I mean?
Like Israelite, the Philistine, all of them.
Okay.
All right, where was that, brother? Let's go back to Leviticus 23 and 24.
How we get there already?
Truth. We go hit on 19, Leviticus
I know,
24.
but so from Leviticus 20 15. You read all the way to?
No, he jumped.
No, I jumped from 20 because really this is still about the first few. We need to go into the fall piece right now.
Okay.
Because really all the other pieces done away with. We don't did that type of one of those pieces. Now we're in the fall piece.
Alright.
So everything from 19 to 22 is talking about the fall piece still.
Okay.
So now we can jump to the fall. I'm saying the fall piece now.
Everything was talking about the spring piece.
All the spring piece we done with, and Yahshua done it. We done proved that according to the New Testament. Yahshua done away with all those spring pieces. Now in the fall piece, and it starts at Leviticus 23 and 23.
Oh, 23.
Yeah.
Okay.
Verse
I got a question. I remember you gave us the calendar. Then we gave us the calendar.
Mhm.
And if we count, starting I think was day 15 was the first day of
It's
the
on
year.
15.
It was the 15th.
So see what happened? I must not start
Yeah.
day one. I must start like on the 15th.
Right,
And this I did this right here. So
Right.
therefore, our months would be in the middle of March,
right,
not March 1. And we count from that day on.
right. So once we count from that day from the 15th and go all the way around, we should get 364 days. So,
And we should go back again to next year at the beginning of the month, part of that, the Sabbath again.
okay.
364 days.
My question is, what season was it of that Passover when Yeshua took part in it, but the hour didn't come yet?
It had to be the spring.
It was the spring?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So
right
we
here,
want
right here, these right here, what we're doing now, we're doing the spring feast.
Yeah,
The spring feast, this is Passover, unleavened bread, first fruit, and Pentecost.
yeah.
Right,
Then you count 72 Sabbath, go all the way into the fall feast.
right. That, I was just trying to,
See that it wasn't Christmas, they weren't.
I was just trying to see if it was like this, like how Christ, came and once he died, Yeshua, once Yeshua came, once Yeshua came, and when he did away with all those things, it was the
Same exact way. And that's why,
Yeah.
like I said, when I did the Passover last time, that's why I did it so in detail, because I wanted to read. I didn't want us to miss a drop of that because it's so deep. Because this right here adds into that.
right. So what I'm saying is that March,
So that's why I was saying.
15. I know it probably was the same date, them years ago, but that was the first day of the year. Right?
The name?
So when Christ did the Passover and all that stuff, it was the same time
Yeah.
back
Oh, yeah.
then? Okay.
Same exact date and time. Which
Right.
days don't change. Dates don't change at all. That's why I did it on those nights. And he had to do it on the same night.
Right.
Way back before he was born, way back then, he had to do it again when he was born. He came here to die. He did everything according to the Passover all the way in the Old Testament.
Right, okay.
He did all that the same night, the same time, the same hour, the same minute, the same second in New
Right.
Testament.
Okay.
He was that lamb the same according to all this order. That's why we read Leviticus 23. Our Father says, speaking to the children of Israel, and said to them concerning the feast of Yah. These are his feasts. He sent his son to deliver us from these feasts. Because it was for his coming.
Right.
That he gonna die for all this stuff. Because we cannot do this in the land of our captivity. We cannot do these feasts. We cannot get the wood, we cannot get the priest, we cannot get in that location, we cannot go to Jerusalem. It's a lot, so he
Cannot
knew.
even sacrifice or,
We cannot sacrifice lamb. Where do we get a lamb from?
Wait,
You can't even buy it. But I don't say buy a lamb.
one thing about the sacrifice. One thing about the sacrifice. I think I read in Numbers or something talk about sacrificing kids.
You talking about Moloch?
Oh, mother.
Mhm.
Yeah,
What was a Molech?
That was a
is
false god.
Yeah,
False god.
they used to sacrifice babies too, and they still have this.
To this day.
Yeah, they got this Bohemian Grove, this tradition that these high safeties and elites go to, and what they do is they have mock. They call them mock sacrifice. This is big wooden owl. They put it on fire and then they throw these mock things. But somebody went there with a video camera, and if you listen, you can hear the screams of somebody screaming.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
They lit the person on fire.
Yeah, I really do believe they still kidnap. That's why they got a lot of kidnapping. And they sacrifice them too.
You still understand the day? How can they do that today? I don't hear me answer me. How can they do the same thing today?
I can't answer.
Abortion.
Mm-hmm.
Abortion, they do the same thing today going to abortion. Going out and getting that baby, taking out of them, they kill that baby. They're doing the same thing. They may not think it, but they're doing the same thing today with abortion.
So that's still considered murder, or just
Right. To his eyes, yeah, not to the man in the world. But you are accountable for that. Y'all say in the Bible, you killed my kids. He said, these are my kids. So these women doing that these days, they're doing the same thing. A different way of doing the same exact thing. All right, read, brother.
Yeah. Chapter 23, Leviticus, verse 22.
23.
23.
Now these are the fall feasts.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have Shabbat, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah.
Let's stop right there. Okay, this one right here, let's go to 1 Corinthians 15, 52. No. First, let's go to Numbers 10 and 10.
Numbers?
Numbers 10 and 10.
Numbers or
So
numbers?
this,
Numbers.
Numbers 10 and 10.
is this called the Feast of Trumpets?
This right here says, speaking to the children, saying, in the 7th month of the 1st day of the month shall be a Sabbath of memorial of blowing the trumpet.
Oh, okay.
A holy conversation. So this is the blowing the trumpet. And we're going to go to Numbers 10 and 10. I'm just going to explain to you more about the trumpet.
All right, everybody got it?
Yes, sir.
Nope.
We start at 9 and then we'll 10?
You got something in mind?
No, I was just reading 9.
No, you go ahead. You read from 9 and 10. Yeah, you good, bro.
All right, Numbers chapter 10, verse 9. And if ye go to war in your generations, in your land against the enemy that oppresses you, then ye shall blow an alarm with trumpets, and ye shall go and remember before Yahuwah your Elohim, that ye shall be saved from your enemies. Also, in the days of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in the beginning of your months, ye shall blow with the trumpet over your burnt offerings, and over the sacrifice of your peace offering, and they may be to you your memorial before your Elohim.
Okay, I'll take it. Now let's go back. Let's go back to Leviticus 24.
Leviticus 23 or 4?
I'm saying Leviticus 23, by the way, 23 and 24.
One question. Those people that got killed, like before they was even born, or didn't have an understanding before that didn't know the truth, will they be in the kingdom or no?
That's up to y'all, because we never know what time he gave them, so I can answer that. He gave rather a measure that's meant. A lot of times, certain things happen for a reason, so once it's his mercy and whatever, I don't know. I can't say who's going to be the king and who not, or who measure was meant, this and that, whatever. I can't.
Well, I got a question. I think he's saying like before the child is even born. Like
Or
say
seeing
for
like babies, like 1 or 2 or 3
No,
years
it's talking about
old,
abortion.
like
An
abortion
abortion?
do like 3
Yeah.
years old, like really young people, extremely young. young that don't have an understanding of how they got killed or shot or aborted.
But realize they're his kids. So if they didn't do anything, they didn't sin, it's nothing going back to our Father. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. The Spirit went back to him because they didn't do anything. They didn't have opportunity. They didn't do nothing wrong.
So if they like 3 or 4, like
Yeah, I mean they're innocent. But anybody older than that, if they got a measure that's meant for them, I can't say. You know,
yeah.
I don't know.
So maybe I'm a little bit way too old.
No, I'm still young.
Yeah, but I still.
But you know right.
Yeah, I know right from I know better.
Once you know that,
I know better. So
Was it?
Well, I was just gonna say, that it's like the man of perdition. They were born to fulfill a certain role, but beyond that, it's all
It's all him, so it's not that we can
we can't understand things that he does. It's like trying to explain astrophysics to an amoeba. It's he's lived forever. He has a different agenda than we could ever understand. Stuff like that, you just have to go by faith.
And I have a question that's going to kind of tie in with his question. The people, let's say females, also people, I can say males too, that have no understanding of some of the sin nature that they did because maybe they was still in darkness. Nobody never told them the truth, that abortion was wrong, or told men whatever they sin was wrong or whatever. So you have a young teenager, a young mother, just a woman, period, that have no clue about having an abortion is sinning against God, meaning that they are still ignorant in their prime, meaning that because there are so many young women who say, oh, I just don't want this kid because me and the dad is not together. Or I just, want to do something else because da-da-da. They have no clue about Yah. And, yeah. And then they have an abortion. Give them some years. They come into the truth. And so now they come into the truth. So what happens? I have an idea, Go ahead, brother.
It's all in scripture. What, brother?
1 Samuel.
How you read my mind?
1 Samuel,
He got
2 and 6.
Yeah, he qualified got it.
excuse me.
Read it.
Let me read it out real quick.
Yeah, you
1 Samuel
qualified.
2 and 6. It says, Yahuwah killeth and make alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. And it's also the other scriptures in here too. So somebody's put down. He put you down. He put you down for a reason. I can go deep into that.
Yeah, because I'm still.
Yeah, I know.
That's not like
Well,
really. It's almost. My question is, those sins that we as people sitting at the table. Now, I'm not saying anybody in here with abortion or whatever. We all done some things that is sin against Yah, right?
Yeah.
Before we came into the new nature, and just to say that this happens, and then now Yah draws me, pulls me into Him, and now my whole nature is all about His will.
I'm gonna get this for you.
Yes,
I'm gonna-
yes.
Well, you have to realize.
Not yet, son. Just be
You have
patient.
to realize, okay, King David,
Yes.
he murdered a man for his wife.
Mhm.
He didn't die. Our Father had mercy on him because he repented. Right? Saying, don't do abortion situation. Don't you have knowledge of sin because out of ignorance you did it. So therefore, now that you have knowledge and you repent, he gonna bless you. He still love you. Saul, which is Paul, he crucified churches, did all this stuff because he's
That's-
ignorant.
That's
Now that he woke up, he was forgiven all that stuff. So therefore, what I'm saying is that out of ignorance we do something. Paul said he blessed me. He had mercy on me because I've ignorantly done it. Now, when you was not aware of that, you're not guilty for that. King David murdered a man. Well, his wife,
Yes.
he was the
Right.
king over Israel.
Yeah.
Our Father loved him. He's a man of his own heart, y'all own heart. Now, this is what I'm trying to say is that according to what we do out of ignorance, our Father still love, but we have to repent.
Right.
And that's what the forgiveness of our sin. But if we don't, now that sin gonna carry and gonna follow us. but you repent on it, you're blessed.
One thing. So, like, even just the general thing, but before you come to the truth, if you like at something like Christianity, they still follow the Bible and stuff.
No, they don't follow the Bible.
I mean, let me finish. But they should be more like aware of what the scriptures be saying.
No.
Like about thou shalt not kill.
No. This Bible is about commandments. They do not follow commandments, so they do not know what they're doing.
I mean, like familiar. That's
So
all
they're
I'm
not
trying to say.
familiar. The only way that you know this Bible is the commandments. If you say the commandments done away with, you don't know nothing about this book.
But I was just trying to like.
No, you can't sugarcoat it. No, I'm not, because if they don't have the commandments, they don't know this book. If they're not preaching the laws, statutes, commandments, they do not know anything about this Bible.
I thought they should know the basics.
They don't know anything. They don't know the basic. Just basic about commandments.
Yeah, let me help you out in Christianity. In Christianity, what you're saying is because everything we're talking about is in the Bible. A lot of times in Christianity, it's in the Bible, but who knows it? Because all they do is just go to church and hear a sermon that the pastor does.
That's what all the week over and
So
over.
they're not going home and
Full scriptures.
they're not going home and
Because I thought they should. Okay. I thought they should know things like the basis not stealing in the
Yeah,
Bible,
Bible 1 through 6.
stuff like that. That's what I'm
Just
saying.
they might know it, but they don't live it.
Read this.
So Christianity mostly
Yeah, we
is
need that.
one, and you can hear it, but you don't put it to your life.
What good
So-
is knowledge if you have no action?
Yeah, because information is definitely power. But people can hear that, but if you don't apply it, then it's nothing.
You can read this book and not have the Most High.
Yeah,
What good is it?
yeah, it's vanity,
So, yeah.
worthless.
So, but it's like if you do introduce a Christian to this book, like if they did, why do you think they really don't care if they knew about the Hebrew Israelites?
They didn't really. I was a Christian, and you know what? And I heard about the Israelites, and I heard about them, but I didn't know who they were. I didn't know I was one. So you hear this, and you be like, "Yeah, he brought them out," you know, and all this. You be clapping and cheering for stuff you have no clue of what's real. What's real? You don't have the history of it. You just have the. Almost like a little charade of it, you know. So it's like very faintly. So if you don't put the color to it, you ain't gonna really see it vividly. So that's all they do: paint a picture, and don't go into in depth of the studies.
Deception.
Yes,
Focus.
illusions.
What you got? Yeah. It's like when I woke up and got this knowledge. Now, there's an example. Before I woke up, my brother was preaching to me 10 years, on and on and on and on.
About the Hebrew Israelites
Yes.
also?
And
Like,
it literally was in one ear out the other. The Father wasn't dealing with me at that time. And it's like most of us, He wasn't dealing with you at that time.
Right.
You can't get this knowledge unless He wants you to see it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that parable, the example I brought up was last week. It's like putting a donut in front of your eye. Everybody else can see that donut, but you can't. And they sitting there like, why you can't see that donut on his face? Until the Father take that off, then you can see. You're like, wow, I ain't never see that before.
I could smell it. Yeah.
Oh boy. Let me give you that scripture. We'll go to Romans 9.
I get what you're saying.
I said you got to have to learn these scriptures. Romans 9. Romans 11. I'm sorry, y'all.
Okay.
Romans 11. And we're gonna start at verses 5. Yep. And I'll read all the way down. Let me show you something. And this will understanding I had got. And this is a lot of Israelites and the other nations. He ain't dealing with them. You know, it's some that's what the cleat does. They can understand it. That's why they're hard to be moved. But remember, ultimately, give him the credit, because if a stranger's actually helping you, that's because the Father put it on their heart to help you. Don't give them the credit of it. He's making them help you. See, So that's why every day we have to give him praise because he could have kept us asleep. So let me read this to you so you can understand. It says, number 5, it says, even so then, at this present time also there's a remnant according to the election of grace. And if by grace there is no more of works, otherwise grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then it's no more grace, otherwise works is no more works. Just breaking this down, this little part right here, no matter what you didn't cause you to get picked. It's because of grace you got selected. Your works did not cause you to get selected to be able to read this or to understand it.
So what do you mean by grace?
What it means is that he selected you.
Oh.
Socrates.
Yeah. You could have been the best person in the world. You could have been the most baddest person in the world. It didn't matter. He was already selected beforehand. You see? So when you read down to 7, it says, what then? Has Israel not obtained that which he seeks for? But the election have obtained it. And the rest were blinded. See that? They were blinded accordingly. As it is written, Elohim has given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see. Think about it. You got eyes in your head, right?
Yeah.
You can see, right?
Mm-hmm.
But think about it. They got eyes too. But when you read that to them, I don't see what you're talking about. Right? It says eyes, but they can't see. It says ears that they should not hear until this day. Why they can't hear? You're reading it straight from scripture, black and white right there. They can't hear it. They can't see it either. They're reading the same thing you're doing. It happened yesterday. I was reading to some JWs. That's what we're saying. No, we're not. Did y'all not just see the seed of Israel? Did y'all not just see that? They looking at each other like, huh?
They talk when a Christian says something, when he said about the seed of Israel, they talk about everybody.
But it's not. It's not. So like I said, they can't see or hear unless the Father wants them to see and hear. No matter, and you can want to see it, but it's ultimately up to him what he want to do.
Is Santa Claus real?
No. Obviously.
So is everybody, is this book talking about everybody?
Everybody. But I mentioned them like Esau. Like
Esau's our brother, yeah. Even though he has his ways against us, we still gotta love him.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And at the same time, even some of his tribe are going to be with us. You know?
Everybody. So they all get wiped out.
Right.
That's
I'm
scripture.
judging-
wait,
yeah, I'm
wait.
judging-
One
I'm
thing.
gonna
That
be
mean
up.
everybody is gonna get wiped out, even the people that are trying to follow us.
If they're that bloodline, like scripture saying Obadiah, if they're that bloodline, they're gonna get wiped out.
You know what's so crazy? Oh my gosh. Okay.
I don't want to jump away from it. Sorry.
I'm sorry, man. You just hit on something. You said getting wiped out. Now it makes sense. Again, back to this movie, Marvel, Infinity Wars. They said that when this dude grabs all the rings or whatever, he can snap his fingers and you'll see this these people start getting wiped out. All of a sudden, you look, it was people all over the world, but there were certain ones turning into dust. There's certain ones that were turning into dust and they were going. And it was just like you said, the seed of Esau, when they all get wiped out, they're gonna turn into dust. So it was again how they put stuff right there from the Bible into these movies. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm sorry.
Black Panther.
Don't worry about it.
You got to go to work?
Nah, I'm just gonna move around a little bit.
Oh, man, come on now.
I know, sis, but I got it.
All right.
I'm all over the place today, you know.
At least
but,
you came.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At least I stopped by. I love y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
Love you too now.
Well, this honor is symbol.
I just get a thumbs up.
Satan, y'all knew that?
That is too.
That is too?
Yes, even the middle finger.
You ain't know that?
No, I said thumbs up.
This is
Yes.
And I love you, what they be talking about. I love, no,
okay,
that's
remember this right here? This is I Love You in whatchamacallit, right?
Sign language.
Okay, that was made by who? Halle Kelly.
Yeah.
So she was part of the cult. So what this was really saying was, I love you, Satan.
Satan. That's it.
You
And
know?
this right here, if you see Trump now,
Trump always doing.
Pyramid.
The pyramid,
Yeah,
upside down
but
pyramid.
this-
This right here, you know what this
yeah,
is?
yeah, and
Well, I know
that's
that's a
That's
666.
666, but do you also see what else it is?
3.
what?
White power.
Wow.
also
man.
there's also
Yeah.
hold up. Yeah, there's so
I
many.
thought the
Look
middle
at all
finger
these
is one,
movies.
too.
All of these movies. This is why you see them doing stuff like they'll try to hide it, but they do stuff like this, or they'll do stuff like
Yeah.
this or something.
Yeah.
They're giving shout outs to the elites to let them know that these are who these movies are
Right.
for. These movies are not for us. We're spending our money to go see them and go watch them and stuff like that, but they're not for us. They're for them. This is, they sit back and they watch everything. Earth, how it's moving, and they need entertainment. So if they don't make no red rooms, these movies. And that's why they tell these actors and these actresses, hey, put this up, put this up. But yeah, that's what those hand signals do.
Wait,
Yeah.
I thought the Bible was talking about if the earth is flat. We'll talk to that. We'll talk about afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sorry about that, brother. We off.
Where was that, bro?
I'm sorry, man. We was at chapter 20. No, we just got done reading.
It was on the feast one we just finished reading.
Should've been enough.
24.
It was on Numbers 10 and
10 and 10.
10 and 10, yeah.
He's blowing up the trumpet.
It was
Yeah, Lord.
23, 24.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
23.
just did that one now, we said Numbers 10 and 10.
Did we do 1 Corinthians 15?
No, we did 15, 20.
Excuse me.
Read 24 again. We read 23, 24.
Leviticus chapter 23, 24. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying that in the 7th month, and the first day of the month, shall ye have a Shabbat, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, a holy convocation, and ye shall do no servile work therein. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah.
Okay, so let's go to Matthew 27 and 50.
You said Matthew 7 and 20?
27 and 50.
Okay, 27 and 50.
Everybody there?
Yes.
Matthew chapter 27, verse 50. Yahushua, when he cried again with a loud voice, yielding up to the ghost, and behold, the veil of the temple was rent into twain from the top of the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent, and the grave were opened, and many bodies of the saints were slept arose, and came out of the graves after his resurrection, and went into the holy city, and appeared unto many. Now, when the centurion and they that were with him watched Yahushua, saw the earthquakes and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, Truly this was the Son of Yah. And many women were there, beholding afar off, which followed Yahushua from Galilee, ministering unto him, among which were Mary Magdalene, Mary, the mother of James, and Joseph, and the mother of Zebedee, children.
Okay, start right there. Now, when you go back to Leviticus 23, 24, it says, speaking to the children of Israel, saying the 7th month, the first day of the month, you should have the Sabbath memorial of blowing the trumpet, the holy convocation. Okay, now let's go to 1 Corinthians 15, 52. And this is about this blowing the trumpet, right? But I want to see where Yahuwah prepared this also in the New Testament. That'll be 1 Corinthians 15, 52. 51.
Well, we're gonna go back to Matthew.
Yeah, we'll go back to Matthew. I really want to get this scripture first and then go to that scripture right now. Yeah, that's why I went to this one first. I wouldn't have let him read it.
15 and 2, First Corinthians.
1 Corinthians 15, 51.
15 and 51?
Yeah,
Okay.
all the way to 58.
All right.
Wait.
Oh, yeah,
So where's it turning?
1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 51. Behold, I saw you a mystery. When shall not all sleep, but when shall all be changed? In the moment, in the twinkle of an eye, and the last trump.
Last trump, right?
For-
Go ahead.
For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall rise, incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
Okay, all praise. You stop right there. Now you know that this right here, this piece of trumpet, right? Like this scripture right here, and y'all is risen at the last trumpet, and he said what happened in Matthew. Go back to Matthew. Now let's go back to Matthew 27 and 50. Now let's go there.
Matthew.
27 and 50. At the last trumpet, this is what happened. Now let's go back to the event when it actually happened that night when he's risen.
Matthew 27, verse 50. Yahushua, when he cried again with a loud voice, yielding up the ghost, and behold, the veil of the trumpet of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent, and the grave were open, and were bodies of the saints, which slept arose, and came of the grave after his resurrection, and went into the city, in the holy city, and appeared unto many. Now, when the centurion and they that were with him watched Yahushua, saw earthquakes, and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, Truly, this was the Son of Yah.
Stop right there. Now, what happened is the last day. See, everybody don't have the same last day. My last one, if I die today and my spirit be taken away, that's my last trump. Yeshua fulfilled all that, all this. At the last trump, he's telling right now, because when he died, he was crucified, all the graves were open. And the Bible we're not going to rest in the grave. That's for the ones that are going to die and perish. We're going up with him. We're not going to rest we're not in our spirit, not going to be there. That's why I say all the graves and the bodies that were the saints arose, that slept arose. We arose at the last trump. That's our last trump. When you die, he kissed you. That's the last trump for us. So he fulfilled that also in New Testament. At the last what?
I was just going to say, as Israelites, how are we supposed to be? Are we to be buried in the ground or cremated?
Well, we supposed to be because you realize cremation. It's in the book Apocrypha. Cremation was for like murderers, killers, real bad people. It's in the Apocrypha, yeah. Cremated was not because we all got buried. Think about it. If you name one saint that was cremated in the Old Testament, you'll never see that. But it's in the book of Apocrypha. It's that it was a place of cremation where they cremated evil people.
So Nimrod.
So
you realize you're not in control anymore, so therefore he have mercy according to if you get cremated, because you have power in your body now. Before Abraham made sure he had a plot for his wife, his son, his kids. They're always been buried. They always buried. Even Joseph, he said, "Bring my bones up when you leave Egypt." All of us had a burial. The children of Israel did not believe in cremation. That came from man.
Okay.
So basically, Nimrod got burned.
Nimrod was Hamite.
I know. Did he get burned? Was because he was really bad.
Got to look that up. I know. Remember, he was a Hamite. He wasn't a child of Israel anyway.
Wait. So they were like back then. They were like horrible Israelites that were bad people.
Yeah, it was bad. Israelites was bad. Israelites now. Yeah. Just because you're Israelite gonna guarantee your salvation. Yeah.
But cremation was for other nations. That was nothing for Israel. Israel always got buried. It was something really that our Father really was strict with us being buried.
So basically, being cremated today and none of that's a sin.
It's still a sin.
Wow.
Cremating
A sin?
Well, what
It's
happened?
it ain't. It's nothing.
Well, it's something that Israel did not do.
Yeah.
Right.
We not do that at all. So I'm not that's a sin, because when you die, you got to
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So therefore, as in us doing it, willing and want to do it, you know, this and that. Now
That's why we got to tell our people to bury us.
Yeah, if you can. Now, if you can't, whatever, still, it's not about your body anymore.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's out of your hand.
Yes.
Wait.
But the Israelites, they never
So
got.
like, when you die, you just automatically go to judgment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Just
You are remember Luke in the book of Luke, the rich man in the beggar. Soon as he died, he seen Lazarus in the gulf. He said, Abraham, please, send out here and touch the cool of my tongue. When you die, you actually wake up. You wake up, angels got to come and deliver you to where you're going. As soon as you die, angels wait to deliver you because they'll have to guide you because now you're lost, you don't know where you're going. They're going to guide you. They're going to see if any cleanness, uncleanness in you. That's in the book of Park also. That you don't have any fruit in you. And the angels of death won't take you to where you're going.
Yep.
And you will be tormented until their judgment.
how tormented.
You will be tormented until their judgment.
So can you explain that just a little bit more? So basically, the angels, if you don't have any fruit, they just come and torture you.
They're going to take you to the angels and you're going to go to who you've been serving.
Oh,
And they're going to deal with you. You're going to be in the lake of fire. You'll be tormented until the judgment.
okay.
You're not resting. You'll be burning until that day. The judgment. Yeah, you're going to where you're going at that day. That's why a lot of people don't take the book of Luke serious when it says that the rich man Lazarus that's the rich man
Mhm.
and poor man Lazarus, he automatically, as soon as he said that day he died, he said the rich man was buried. And Lazarus was in the gulf of Abraham,
In the bosom.
in his bosom. Go ahead, brother.
That's Luke 16, 19.
So the angels torture you or the demon torture you?
Angel going the demon ain't the same thing.
Oh.
Those are his disciples. I'll tell you what.
So they just want to bam, 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 beat you
I
down.
don't want to know what they're going to do. I don't have wrong.
They ain't gonna do nothing to you.
I don't want no part of that.
You said 16, 19?
Yeah, chapter 16 of Luke, 19 through 31. Write that down, be a reference. That's what Lazarus.
All right, let's go to Ephesians 4 and 8 for questions.
That's Luke 16, verse 19 through 31. Mhm.
Yes, sisters.
So basically, well, I'm trying to get an understanding from what we read from Matthew 27:50 and 15 and 1 Corinthians 15:51. So now that we have the feast of blowing the trumpets, and based off Corinthians, 1 Corinthians,
Yeah, 15.
you're saying that, well, what is it saying?
Let's go back over it again. Let's go back over it again. Let's start all over again. Let's start, go to Leviticus 23 and 24.
23 and 24.
23 and 23. I want you to read this so sister can understand it better.
All right. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24.
Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have Shabbat, a memorial, a blowing of trumpets, a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. And
Okay, start right up. Now, you heard he said memorial, blowing the trumpets, right? Now let's go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 51. Remember, Yahuwah came to fulfill all these feast days.
Right.
Now let's read 1 Corinthians.
Oh, wait. So 24, this is supposed to be the 7th month of the 1st day. I don't know what that is.
That's in the month. That's in the month. I got that. Tashua. 7th month.
What is, so that is September?
Yeah, September, October.
Okay.
September, October.
First day.
So the first day,
Yeah, September, October.
the first day of the 7th month,
Mhm.
we're going to have a Sabbath. So whatever that day is, all right, it's going to be a memorial.
Yeah, that's why I said now we're doing the fall feast,
Right.
which is
I'm just trying to get an understanding
Yeah.
of how you just did away with that. It's the Sabbath day, and the memorial is blowing trumpet. Okay, so that is a holy convocation.
Yeah, so
So now we turn to, what do you say? First,
we can really go to back to Numbers 10 and 10 to get an understanding of the trumpet. What were they for? That's why I had that scripture. Well, at first, I want you to understand these feast days. Go back to Numbers 10 and 10. and what they are representing.
Numbers chapter 10,
Yeah, 10 and 20.
verse 10. Also, in the day of your gladness, and in the solemn days, and in the beginning of your months, ye shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offering, and over the sacrifice of your peace offering, that they may be to you your memorial, for you a memorial before Elohim. I am Yahuwah, your Elohim.
So start with that. Now you see that we did it with for your gladness, your solemn days, your beginning of months, your blowing trumpets, your burnt offering for the sacrifice. We know Yahshua done away with all that, right?
Right.
So he's doing away with the trumpet also. Now when his trumpet sound, now all that stuff is done away because no more. We don't have to do any of that no more. All those days is done away with. He did all that by
We
regular.
don't have to do burnt offering.
We don't do that because he did away with 3 laws in the Bible. See, I realized he did away with ceremonial law only and sacrifices. He don't know all that, plus all these feast days, but we cannot do that over here in the land of captivity. We cannot do none of that over here. Now we can get the horn, we can blow the horn according to the beginning of our Sabbath day, our assembly, this and that, we can blow the horn, but that's just blowing that sound of that trumpet. In case of danger coming, we are warning people and stuff like that. But his trumpet, his last day, he did away with all this stuff. He did with all these feast days, every last one of them. We still keep them in remembrance to acknowledge them and say, okay, we're going to get together on the same date. Like this, for example, the day was the Feast of Trumpet. We get together, we can eat, we get into his word, whatever this and that, and acknowledge that day. We don't put the day behind it, but we cannot do it according to the order that was given us in the Old Testament. We cannot do none of the feast days according to that commandment no more. But he did all that for us.
So, we still get together because
We still get together. That's right, we do it for we
It's
still.
supposed to be a Sabbath.
Yeah. And like I said, I got more scriptures that are going to show you that Paul and all of them kept the feast days after Yahshua died.
Right, and no matter if it's on a Wednesday, that's still supposed to be as if it's today, as a Sabbath.
So what happens is we got to do it according to, again, now that we have the months, we know the months of days, we got to do it in order.
Right, that's what I'm saying, but if he's telling us to have that day as a Sabbath day,
Mhm.
that means whatever that day falls on, if it is a Thursday, Monday, we're still supposed to treat it as if it's a Sabbath, like today.
No. Let's read this one again right here.
What is
It said, it's 10 and 10.
Numbers 10,
Yeah, 10 and 10.
verse 10. Also, in the day of your
Day of
gladness,
gladness, day of gladness, that could be any day, right? The day of gladness, you're blowing the trumpet. That day, right? Okay. Read again.
in your solemn days,
In your solemn days, those are your solemn days, I assume when we get together. Okay, keep reading.
and in the beginning of your months,
In the beginning of your months, what happened? He's saying we could blow the trumpet at any one of these days. That means you keep that day as a Sabbath day.
ye shall blow
You get what
with
I'm
the
saying?
trumpets.
Because
that? Yeah, I understand. But what about Matthew? I'm sorry, not Matthew. What about Leviticus?
Leviticus, where we at? Leviticus.
Leviticus 24.
Leviticus, you said?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You said chapter 28, 24.
Leviticus 23 and 24
Okay, I'm
stands
sorry.
the children of Israel saying, in the 7th month of the first day. Okay, so I get that. It's the same thing as Numbers 10 and 10, the
Mhm.
first day of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Ye shall have a Sabbath, a memorial
Mm-hmm.
of blowing trumpets,
Mm-hmm.
a holy convocation.
Okay, I want you to understand something again. The reason why Yeshua died and done away with this feast day, because we cannot keep it as a Sabbath day in the land of captivity. Only day that we can sure keep is the Sabbath day. That's why you go to Leviticus 23 and 3.
Oh, okay.
You understand? That's why he broke down the Sabbath day
Yeah.
out of the feast days.
Right, because you can't just do
We
it.
can't do that over here.
Mhm.
That's why he done away with all these days. Then you go back to Leviticus 23 and 3, he says 6 days, because he told you these are my feast days. But then he still told you the Sabbath day he still, that moment from the beginning, I said, somebody else would be like, okay, well, we ain't got to do Sabbath day no more since we got these feast days. It's not, but he brought out teaching again about the Sabbath day. He said, Leviticus 23:1. He said, and Yah spoken to Moses, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, and saying to them concerning the feast of Yah, which is Yah feast, right? He said, which ye shall proclaim in the holy convocation at even these are mine feasts. So he still telling that these are his feasts, not Israelite feasts, right? Now he brings this to attention again. He said, 6 days shall work be done. That's what he broke down to you now, order. He said, 7 days is the Sabbath holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein on the Sabbath day of Yah and all your dwellings. So now he breaking down the Sabbath day still going to be the Sabbath, right? Not his feast day. You cannot mix these Sabbaths with these feast days,
Right.
because he know that we cannot fulfill these days in the land of captivity. Therefore, we'll be disobedient to his commandments. So Yah have mercy on us in the land of our captivity.
Right.
So we cannot keep these days.
So it's gonna have mercy.
That's why he broke it down to us this way. That's why he broke it down again and said, these are my feasts. He said, but the Sabbath day, you keep these days still in the midst of all that.
Okay. Understood.
So he said he's gonna have mercy on us on this land. That's just a general thing, or just for the Sabbath day.
Look, you keep this command.
I'm sorry. I'm getting different. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm
Like I'm just a little bit stuck
Right.
on that. Like,
No, 'cause-
mercy.
Mercy
it's a part where it says these are shadow of things to come.
shall things to come.
So what I'm thinking, we under grace right now because you know we can't keep it.
That's right. And that's why he died for them.
Yeah. So are they coming back?
They're
Well,
coming
we-
back. Okay.
Yeah. See, yeah.
No, okay, let's remember. That's why I want everybody really, when we did the Passover, to really sink your head into the Passover before the Passover. Remember, he said, because this stuff is engraved in the heavenly tablets and in the kingdom also. They're still going in the kingdom. The Sabbath day is still going on.
Mm-hmm.
These feasts and all that still going on in the kingdom. We got to get in order down here.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, one thing. Since we're under grace, that means we could just go and buy the. I get the shoes I want basically since I'm under grace. I'm not trying to be. I'm not just
Yes,
like.
you
I'm
are.
not.
You're strong. Yes,
I'm just
you
trying to get. I just want to get.
Shoes. You're trying to find a loophole.
I'm
That's
telling
what
you.
No, I'm trying to.
Well, you have to realize again.
I understand, dude.
You have to realize, Yahuwah did so much for us according to the feast days, according to the Passover, according to the lamb and sacrifice and all that stuff. He loved us just that much because he knew for a fact that we cannot keep these feast days over here in the land of captivity because these feasts went on for months. And at that, we had to sleep in booths for what?
Yeah.
For, on our roof. Our house was not even designed for you to sleep in a booth on top of your roof, you slide down.
Mm-hmm.
But in the Bible, they slept in booths and all that.
Yeah.
So he knows for a fact that he gonna have mercy on us according to being in captivity. Think about it this way. Daniel, Meshach, and Abednego. Do tell you anything in the book of Daniel, they celebrated feast days in the land of their captivity.
Wow.
Name one time they did it in the book of Daniel.
Will ever get us understanding? Because I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna set a tent up in my room one time. Like, I can't
No.
go outside and put it up.
So wait.
What happened is we step on Yahuwah.
Oh boy.
We go against him stuff and do whatever stuff, and we still doing it.
Crucifying them all over.
There you go, sister. We crucify him all over again. That's why this lesson is real important. That we have to know this lesson is real important. Because then you crucify him again out of ignorance. But it's right here in the book. It's right here in the book. You call yourself talking born of the lamb. He was that lamb. What you need Yahuwah for? That lamb. The leavened bread. He said, I'm the bread of life.
Yes, yes.
You got yeast all over your house. Oh, Lord, I yeast in my house. What you stressing in your house for? He talking about your body.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He died in vain.
Good.
First fruits. Oh, this is the first fruit. How are you going to do the first fruit? He was the first fruit when he risen on the first day, that morning.
That's true.
He did all that because we cannot do that over here. We cannot do none of this over here in the land of captivity. And see, that's why I took you to the book of Tobit. How did Tobit celebrate his day of Pentecost?
At his house.
With his family, and he went out and did good. Because he was not in Jerusalem. So Yahuwah did with all this stuff because he had mercy on us. He loved us so much. But it's right here in the scripture. You see all them captives, they'll skip Leviticus 23. They got all this. One doing the feast day this day, one doing that day, one doing them this day, one doing this month. But y'all see that these feasts are like lined up like in like in 3 day period of time.
Mm-hmm.
They have atonement.
Yeah, all that's together.
Right, that's true.
They're doing, well, we hold the pieces of dedication, we doing this now, we're this not.
And
No,
they drag it out for.
they drag it out, this and that, well, they just, all kind of stuff, they doing what they want to do.
Mhm.
Actually, for finances.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
You're making money off of
You
it.
make money, that's where you can sell your fringes, your shirts, your garments and stuff like that.
So,
And that's why I really want everybody to understand this feast day, so nobody